Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're trying something a little different. Recording wise, I'm set up in my room on the floor. I'm cozy. And I was sitting here with Haley earlier and now she moved. So let's get into today's video. We are going to be making these pretty little flowers that I've kind of designed, kind of just winged it over the weekend to add to these bathing suits that I've also been working on and you've seen in some of my other videos. So let's get into making these flowers. So we're going to be using cotton fair. I love this yarn. I'm making actually the bathing suit in this yarn and in various colors. So check out my Instagram for all the colors and styles that I'm going to be making. But yeah, I'm using this fine. I believe it's a size 2 fine. Recommended crochet hook is a 4.5 millimeter, but for these flowers, not for the bathing suit, for the flowers, I am using a 3.5 millimeter hook instead. We are also going to be using beads. Beads are pretty. I only have a few of these left, so I'm really gonna have to find some more. We're gonna make a slip knot. Aha. Insert your yarn, your hook, not your yarn, your hook, and pull it nice and tight. Not too tight. You actually want to be able to get in there, especially because this is a stitch we're going to be working into. You don't want it too loose or too tight. This really has to be proper tension. So you can move it around easily, but it's not just going to like fall off. So chain 2. 1, 2. And I don't think you need me to make a tutorial on that.
Like chaining is pretty simple. So yeah, yarn over and pull through.
So we're going to be working into this first stitch right here, but not in the V. As you can see, it looks like a V. We're going to be working into the back leg of it. And if I turn it around and it cooperates, take out the hook for now. Let's look at the back. This is the first stitch, second. This one's where we're going to be working in, and it's this little spot right there that we're going to be single crocheting into. So I'm going to get my hook back in here. So turn it around and get into this little guy right back here. You see him? He's a pain in the butt to grab the first time around. And we're in. So you're going to yarn over and pull it through that loop. Now with both of your loops on, you're going to yarn over again and pull through both. So we've made one single crochet there, and we're going to make another 5 in the exact same spot. That first chain we made, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Insert your hook into that first single crochet you made. And this guy, we're going to work him around now. So make sure the tail is out of the way and you pull up your loop and then pull it through that exact stitch. There we go. There's your slip stitch. So now that we have a slip stitch made, we are going to make one petal in each and every one of these single crochets. I'm going to start with a chain 4, the outer side of one of the petals. And this is going to be the exact same repeat pattern for each and every petal. So from this stage, you have chain 4. You're going to yarn over twice because I'm going to be making treble crochets. Insert it back into that first single crochet. And if you're not sure, once you're in there, look at it. Was there a knot? Is it tight? Chances are that's the first one. It's the most difficult one to get into. And it's usually because we have a habit of tightening when we are working into a slip stitch. And it also takes up that space in the hole. So you do have a stitch that's already in there. So we've pulled up the loop. Oop, and I have this twisting around. All right. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to yarn over and pull through the first 2. Now I got 3. So yarn over, pull through the last 2. Now we've got 2. These stay here. We're gonna put your finger on it and block it and yarn over your hook twice more. We're gonna go make another treble crochet in here in the exact same spot. I'm gonna get back in there Make sure you're bringing your tail in with you, so you're working over the tail as well, and bring up your loop. Pull through the first two, realign everything, pull through the second two, and if it helps, I like to keep my fingers and use my nails to make sure I don't pull through an extra loop. It just helps guide it, and then pull through all three. And I've basically made a treble crochet 2 together in 1 stitch. And I love the look of this. I love doing these things in my stitches, especially at the ends of my rows. You may notice in some of my patterns, most of my patterns, if there is a half double, double, or treble crochet or anything of the like at the beginning of a stitch, let's say a chain up, you're going to be seeing something like this at the end to compensate the shape, because I really don't like it looking wavy. So we're going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4. Go right back into that exact same stitch again. Pull up your loop, and you're going to slip stitch into it. Pull it tight. And it's all one petal into 1 stitch. We're going to move over to the next stitch. Chain 3, 4, yarn over 2, and work back into the second crochet that you were working into. Whoop. When you do this, and you don't want to have to undo it, because I do this a lot, just gently take the first one off, insert your hook, same thing, and keep your hook really close as you're pulling. Insert your hook, and you have them both back on there. Whew. Yarn over twice, get back in there. It's starting to get tight all through, and chain 4 more. 4, slip stitch it back into the second crochet that you were working into, so the exact same stitch. Are you seeing the pattern here? Alright, so we're going to finish this off. I'm battling with the camera today. My back is kind of shot, so leaning over my workstation is not working well for me right now. So I'm going to finish the other petals off camera, and I'll come back to show you how we do the bead. So here are the 6 petals. I've got them all done. Now I'm basically going to just insert back into this first stitch right here, close it off. Oh, sorry, there are garbage trucks going around my neighborhood apparently, even though it's not garbage day. And I basically just pull it into there, tighten it up. You have a very basic, very easy to make flower. I'm going to trim off a little bit of this, because I am going to keep it to stitch it on to something I'm making. Not necessarily this top, because I'm going to be making them directly onto it. So they're going to be woven into instead of stitched on. And that's in a video for another time. So pull this loop. You don't need to pull it out too much. Random tail can go too if you want. So you don't need to pull it out too much, but I do need to get my needle. I'll be right back. Needles. Remember what I said about testing it out? Grab your beads, grab your needle, take the largest end of it, insert. Does it fit? Yes. Now if you're using a thicker yarn, like a much thicker yarn, obviously you're going to need a larger hole in your bead and a larger needle, but make sure that it'll pass easily without fraying your yarn or ripping it. I'm just going to get this into here. Ooh, that actually went easier than I thought it would. And as you can see, I can easily pull it through, no problem. Voila. Back out, because I need to weave it through something else first. Now this stitch that we pulled into is the first stitch you worked in. Skip 2 stitches and go to the one completely opposite, which is that 4th one right there. And right there. pull it up into this stitch, and I'm pulling that down. See? I'm gonna get rid of this tail because it's confusing everybody. It's getting in my way. See ya. Alright. Now, I'm gonna pull this tight, and it gives a nice little hold in it. Now we're gonna get this guy on here, bring him all the way down to where he's supposed to go, and he'll place himself when he's supposed to. Now insert, I'm really having a hard time today. Insert into this little loop that you made. It's gonna really help tie this off. See? Oop. There we go. Now that I've pulled that tight, it's a little bit more secured. And the reason we pass into that little loop there is because we're going to go right back into the bead from where we came from. For some reason these petals didn't want to form properly, but you get the idea. And right back into that single crochet that we came up into from the back. Go back down into there. If you didn't cut your tail, you can always tie it off using your tail. I don't usually have to tie them off because I just keep working my project. So I like to do a lot of seamless joins, including my embellishments. Alright, see you again next week. Bye!